Sandra Madaffrey, and I hope you're doing really, really well on this beautiful Monday morning here in Melbourne. So welcome to another Monday morning musing webinar, and let's get started. Welcome to everyone who's joining. Sorry, I've got my camera in the way, so I've got to sort of, okay. So I'm going to share the screen. I am going to have the chat box up, so if you'd like to ask any questions, please do so. So I'll pop the chat box up. So welcome to everyone who's joining. We will get the slideshow and the webinar going right now. Okay, so welcome again to another Monday morning musing with me. For anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Sandra Madaffrey, and today I want to talk a little bit about establishing routines for business growth. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize in business, but is something that is coming, people are beginning to see more of and realize more and take more notice of, is that as a business owner, whether you're a business owner or you work in a business or you manage a business or whatever it is that you do, it's really important that you have a look at yourself, and how you manage yourself within a business, or before you get to work or whatever it is, to be able to actually have sustainable business growth. And this is something that people don't tend to think about. They think that business is all about strategy, marketing, and I just want to bust that myth a little bit, because it's something that I found working now almost 2 years with business owners, that you know what, you can give a business owner all the strategies in the world, but if they don't have their mindset, they don't have themselves well, and their well-being, I should say, first, in place and looked after first, their businesses suffer because they don't perform to peak performance. Okay, so a business will be, I think it's Tony Robbins that says a business is a 3D printout of your mind. I think something like that. And I'm here to tell you, and even last week with the webinar we did last week, when it comes to business, you have got to get yourself in peak performance before you can get your business in peak performance. Okay, so let's start this webinar. I'd love you to say hello. I know there are a couple of people, because I can see that there are a few people joining me. So I'd love you to say hello to me. And please, if you have any questions as we go through this, please let me know. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to establishing routines is how we form our habits and how we can reform our habits. Now, what I'm going to show you here comes from me watching and reading a lot of Dr. Joe Dispenza's books. Hi, Christina. Nice to see you here. So I highly recommend that if you're into wanting to rewire who you are, that you either jump on Gaia TV and watch Dr. Joe Dispenza's series of Rewire, or you read his book, Breaking the Habit of Being You. But just want to talk about the three brains and how this all works. We have, when we have a thought, when you even, hi Marie, nice to see you here as well. When you have a thought, or you wake up, let's say you wake up in the morning, okay, how do you know to be you? How do you know to do the habits that you do every single day, to behave the way you do? And that happens because you have a thought the minute you wake up, and you're very unaware of these thoughts. And what happens is it creates a biochemical reaction in your body. That biochemical reaction will then go back to your brain and say, yeah, it's me, and unconsciously you start behaving as yourself. To be able to break a habit or to create new routines, you must create new thoughts to create new biochemical reactions in your body, which then become the new you. So let's have a look at this three brain concept. So first of all, we've got the neocortex, which is what we call the grey matter of the brain. And that is our thinking brain, okay? Focus, our experience, our knowledge. You know, it's what I would call the very conscious mind, okay? So it's the part that you're thinking, it's the part that you're tuning into me right now and thinking about what I'm saying to you. And the part that I'm using at the moment, because I'm doing this webinar and thinking, what do I have, you know, what do I have to say? Am I making sense? All those sorts of things. So that's the neocortex part of the brain. It's rational, it's the thinking brain. So in order to have created a habit that you have now, or to create a new habit, what you need to do is you need to think about it first. Okay, this is what I want to do. Then the next thing you need to do is you need to actually do the habit, okay? Because what will happen is every time you do a new habit, it creates a new biochemical reaction in the body, and eventually your limbic brain will actually get, okay, this is a new thing that we're doing, and then it will become the habit, okay? So the limbic brain, or the doing brain, is your automatic behavior, your skills, and your habits, okay? So it's that stored in that part of the limbic brain. So you have to think about something new, which we're going to talk about some new routines today. You're going to have to do them. They say that it takes 21 days to create a new habit. Possibly sometimes it could be more, depending on what you've been doing at this stage. But by doing something different, it actually creates what we call a pattern interrupt, and it creates something different for you, and something to for you to make a habit yours. You have to do it for enough time that then you don't even think about it. And when you wake up in the morning, you have a biochemical reaction to the new habit, and the biochemical reaction to the old habit has gone, also known as creating new neural pathways. Okay, and then you become it, you be it. And who you are is in your reptilian brain, and it is your implicit memories, instincts, reactions, you know, the unconscious process, the autopilot process of what you do. Okay, so what I'm going to teach you today, you're going to be thinking about it, but to actually really get these habits going, you need to start doing them consistently, even when you don't want to do them. And the reason why sometimes it becomes hard and you don't want to do it is because as soon as you start changing something, all of a sudden the biochemical reaction of which we are addicted to in our body is different, and the mind will go, that's not me. And so it will actually, you will feel uncomfortable and you won't want to do it. So that is actually part of being and stepping out of your comfort zone as well, which is something that we hear about all the time. So by changing habits, by establishing new routines, by doing things different, you're going to feel uncomfortable, because the unconscious mind does not have a frame of reference for you, because it's something that is different. So be aware that you will feel uncomfortable. It is because you are stepping out of your comfort zone, okay? And sometimes that feeling can come across as fear, but it's not necessarily fear. It could be like an underlying level of excitement. A lot of people actually mistake fear and excitement quite a bit. So there is a little bit of a difference there. So I highly urge you that as you start this, to really examine where you're at and how it feels for you. Okay, so you think it, you do it, and then you become it. And that's the only way you can create a new routine, is you have to actually do it. Okay, and like I said, sometimes the 21-day rule is not always applicable. It can take a lot more, and I've learnt that from experience, that I've done a new habit or done something different for 21 days and I still haven't been able to actually instill that habit, because, you know, another habit that I've had for a long time is just showing ground that it's taken longer. So whatever it takes, it takes. The desire to want to make this change is what's most important, and will take you back to, you know, being on that path of where you want, by just remembering why you've started it in the first place. Okay, so everything starts with you, and to be able to have a business that grows, to be able to have a business that, you know, is going to work for you, you need to take charge of your day. It needs to start with you. You can't just get out of bed in the morning and go bang, jump into that business and just let yourself flow. roll with the punches of whatever happens. You need to take charge of your day. So this is a little bit different than, this is not taking control. This is taking charge and understanding and knowing what you want your day to look like, how you would like your day to pan out, and planning to the best of your ability to get that done. Doesn't always work like that. So you do need to have a little bit of flexibility, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So the first thing you need to do is set out your day. Okay, I have a planner. We're going to talk about planning in a minute, but you need to set out your day. Today, I have my planner right in front of me, next to me, and I know exactly every morning, the first thing I do when it's time for me to work is to have a look at what's on today, what have I got coming up. Sometimes I actually even do this the night before. It just depends how I'm feeling, but usually in the mornings is fine for me. And so that I feel calm about the whole day. Okay, I've got the webinar, then I've got a phone call with a client, then I've got an interview with someone, whatever it is for you. Make sure that you know exactly how your day is set out. It makes you feel a lot more confident, makes you feel like you're in charge, and it also just calms you down a lot too. And I, you know, for everyone who knows me, I do like looking at your frequency and your energy as well. And there's nothing worse than being frazzled, because if you're speaking to clients, you're going to be frazzled. And you know, and it comes across. You might not be aware of it, but energetically you feel frazzled, and customers pick that up. And of course, this is a webinar is all about business growth, so we're going to be looking at how to grow the business, some routines. So you need to be in charge of your day first, know what's coming up, so that you are aware if you have any clients that you need to talk to. The other thing you need to do, and this is done, I do this on a weekly basis first. I do this every single Sunday. A lot of people like to do it, you know, if you don't like to work on the weekend, do it on a Friday afternoon. Evaluate your work, your week at the end of the week, you know, what worked, what didn't, and then have a look at and plan out your next week. I also do this daily. Every night I look at what I did during the day and thought what worked, what didn't, evaluate it. And I also evaluate in the morning too. I have a look at my diary again and I go, okay, this is what I need to do. So you need to evaluate on a weekly and a daily basis. Really, really important. You need to actually evaluate quarterly and yearly as well. But as a routine, I highly recommend that you have a time every morning, every night to evaluate your day, to take charge, to know what you're doing, and also every week, the beginning of the week, the end of the week, so that you are always feeling in charge of your business, of what needs to be done, of what goals you need to set, of how many people you need to talk to, and all the things that we need to do to grow our business, okay? Now, when you wake up in the morning, one of the habits of very, very high performers is that you put you first. So for the first 1 to 2 hours of your morning, no internet, no emails, no phone calls. Okay, it's not about the business. One of the worst things that a business owner can do is pick up their phone first thing in the morning and start scrolling through Facebook, because what happens is you go into other people's agendas. I know a very well-known business coach on Facebook who posts at about 6 o'clock every morning testimonials about his clients' successes, because he knows that people are going to pick up and be scrolling at one of the most vulnerable times of the day, and it's going to hook them in. Okay, so it's really important as a business owner that you put yourself first. And one of the reasons for that is, one, you need to fill your own cup first before you go out into your day and start doing all your business work. But number two, you don't want to be waking up as a business owner and getting caught up into everything that is social media, because it will actually drag you away from your own business, and all of a sudden you'll have feelings of inadequacy. You'll jump into other people's agendas. You won't be focused on what you want to do. So start your first hour or two of the morning, depending what time you get up, with some meditation, time for you. Focus on your day. Set an intention for your day. How do you want your day to go? What do you want to do that day? And then when you're ready, sit down and start evaluating your day and taking charge. So I wake up in the morning. I actually do not look at anything to do with my business until 9 a.m. and I start seeing clients at 10. So between the moment I get up until 9 a.m., it is all about what I want for the day. I focus, I put my intention, I might read, whatever it is for me that I want to do that day. But I take charge of my day so that by the time I jump on Facebook and I start to scroll, and we've all seen, hopefully you've watched The Social Dilemma. We've all seen how Facebook is addictive, how it drags you in. You don't want to be jumping into those sorts of feelings because it will stagnate you as a business owner, as a manager, as a leader, to be able to then do what you want to do for the day. Okay? So look after yourself. Here's some things that you can do. Meditate. Meditation is great, morning and night before you go to bed. Journaling is amazing, especially if you do automatic journaling where you don't even read what you write, you just let the unconscious mind purge. Exercise is fantastic, releases amazing endorphins, so exercise in the morning is really great. Make sure you get 8 hours sleep daily. It is really, really, really important that you rest and rejuvenate. You don't want to be getting up in the morning feeling tired. If you wake up tired, you're going to go to business and do your business tired. Okay, reading is always good. You know, if you've got something that you want to learn about, some improvement you want to do, personal development, I'm always reading. So reading in the morning is really good. Focus on what you want. Okay, so think about what is it that I want. What am I doing my business for? What do I want today? What do I want this week? What do I want this quarter? What do I want this year? Eat healthy. You need to look after yourself. You need to feel really, really good to be able to be at optimum peak performance. When we look at athletes, they do all these things. They really look after themselves so they can perform at their highest level. This is no difference. If you want to perform at the peak of your ability, you need to look after you, and you need to make sure that you're drinking your 8 glasses of water a day. Okay, so make sure you put yourself first, look after yourself, and then everything else will follow. Okay, so here's some routines that you can start setting straight away. So set some goals. Now, 1 hour of focused intent on one concept or one idea doubles the neural connections in your brain. So 1 hour of focused intent. So this is why it is so important that you have goals every single day. Because if you're not focusing on something that you want, you're just going all over the place. You're not going to create whatever it is that you want in your business. Yet if you can sit for 1 hour of your day planning and actually popping it into your planner, that 1 hour of something you want to do every day for your business growth, it's going to actually double the neuro connections in your brain. And what happens is that will create different biochemicals, and then it will become normal to you. I'd love to hear some comments from anyone. So set your goals for 12 months. I know people talk about business plans, 3 years, 5-year plans, and I have those as well. But I like to set more specific goals for 12 months. That's how I like to do things. I like to know where I want to be in 12 months, and then I start to reverse engineer that 12-month goal, knowing that that 12-month goal is going to get me to the 3-year and 5-year plan. But one of the things that I have found that's fascinating, the doubling of the connections in the brain. Yeah, it is very fascinating, and something that we're not aware of. And if you start to do some of these things, you'll notice shifts. Sometimes, you know, it's just tiny little tweaks that we have to do that actually changes everything, that all our results on the outside. So Thank you for that, Christina. Yeah, so 12 months is something that I really focus on. I know people say longer, but I'm going to tell you, I've been a business strategist for years. For people who don't know, I'm an ex-bookkeeper that then I started my own bookkeeping business, had people working as bookkeepers, and I ended up going into business strategy. And what I found was that if you set goals way too far in advance, things begin to change, and what happens is you start to lose heart, you become overwhelmed because it's too big. So I prefer for everyone to have a goal, you know, outside of that 12 months. What do you really want? Where do you want to go? What do you want your life to look at? But to actually then sit down and only do a fully focused 12 months of what you want. Okay, and bring it in backwards, so that you've got 9 months. So basically you want to be doing each quarter, what do you need to achieve? And the closer in that you get, the more specific you have to become. So if you're doing the next 3 months, there probably has to be the most specific time. I actually know some great people. Do you have any tips for getting yourself to sticking to the morning routine? I start off strong and then titter off. Yes, you just have to become aware that it is the biochemicals in your body that's doing that, and you just have to keep remembering why you're doing it. Okay, so one of the biggest tips I can tell you is have a vision board, or write somewhere that you can see it every day, or many places, why you need to do it. What is it? Go beyond the routine, because you're doing that routine for something very specific, a why, an intention. So remember that intention. Okay, I have a whiteboard. Everyone who watches knows that I have a whiteboard that sits right in front of my computer screen. I can see it right now just by lifting my eyes. And what I do is I have written across the top my why. I do what I do, and I look at it all the time. So every time I go, oh, I can't be bothered, I don't want to be doing this, I look at that why. So try that and see how it goes. If it's a little bit deeper, it could be something a little bit deeper that's pushing you away from it. Maybe it's not something you're aligned to. Maybe it's something that is a values clash that you have. So it could be something a little bit deeper than that. But try that. Try the vision board of why you want that routine. What is it that it's not? See, people often look at that face value of why we do things, but we forget to look a little bit deeper as to what it's going to do for us. Okay, so I hope that helps. If you have any more questions about that, just yell out. So okay, so what I do is you get very specific for the 3 months, get very specific for the 1 month, and get very specific for this week is absolutely specified to, you know, almost the minute. And every day is like today, I have it planned out. I know exactly what I'm doing, but I'm going to give you some hints and tips, because sometimes things don't work out like that. But there is a business coach that does some great videos also on Facebook, that only does things in 6-week cycles. Like, they only focus, he teaches his clients to only focus on 6 weeks. So I had a really good look at that, because I thought, this is something I've been doing for a long time myself, and teaching my clients to do that. And I found that if you really focus on only one, my aim is one thing for 6 weeks. You know, for 4 to 6 weeks, it's only one thing, and another 2 things sort of in the background if I'm looking at the 3 months. But usually, if you focus on one thing for 1 month, 1 hour a day, imagine what you can change. But the unconscious mind really can only cope with 3 things at a time, and that could be 3 things. One of them could be business, and the other 2 could be different areas of your life, which is really important as well, because you've got to get a balance here. But my recommendation is that the conscious mind can focus on 3 things at once. That is the maximum, but just spreading yourself thin. And I love to tell people about, you know, a light bulb. If you think about a light bulb, 100-watt light bulb in the ceiling, it splashes out light everywhere. It just lights up the whole room, whereas a 100-watt laser beam, which has focused energy, will cut through glass. So have a think about it like that. And my aim these days is that I focus on one goal, and I focus on it for 1 hour a day. I sit there, and whatever it is, that focus can be lots of things. It could be, actually doing something, actually creating content if you're looking at business, actually finding clients. It could be just even meditating on the problem, or finding a solution, whatever it is for you. But one goal I find is, if you want things to move really fast in your business, is really, really good way to go. So try it out, see if it works for you. Everything is trial and error. Okay. The next thing you need to do, once you've got that goal, is you need to plan out your steps. Okay. So at the beginning, it can be, really hard. I love this little, picture that I have here on the slides. It can be really hard, but you know what? You turn around and it's tiny little stepping stones, but without you creating steps, you're not going to get there. So what needs to be done each day in that 1 hour to achieve your business growth? Okay. Plan out your action steps and reverse engineer them. Okay. So the thing is, you might say, I want 5 new clients by the end of this month. Okay, so now what you need to do is, that is that goal. What are the reverse engineer the action steps backwards. What do I need to do today to get me those 5 new clients by the end of the month? And have a real good detailed action plan for that month, because, it might not be jumping on calls, or it might not be cold calling. You might have to do some other things first. Maybe you need to put out some internet content for a week before you start approaching people. Maybe you need to nurture some leads. What is it that you need to do to get those 5 clients at the end of the month? And this is why it needs to be broken down into tiny little action steps. And that saying, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. But you need to put those action steps together. A lot of people sit there going, oh, I want 5 clients, I want 5 clients, and it overwhelms them. And the reason for that is because they don't put in tiny little steps every day to get to that end result. Okay, we get bogged up in that overwhelming end result without looking at how do we get there. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is, every day you need to have some priorities. Okay, so you need to grab a planner. You need to have a good planner. I'm fortunate enough to have collaborated with a company, and I do have my actual own planners that I have helped. They've had planners, and I've sort of molded mine to suit my needs for my day. So if anyone is looking for a planner, I do actually sell these. So you need a good planner, but you don't have to buy this. Any planner will do, but you need a good planner. You need a planner. You need to have it in front of you so that you can plan your week, your day, your months. Okay. So the first thing that you should do every single day is your tasks that will grow your business. People will jump up in the mornings and sit at their desk, and the first thing they do is everything that they like to do. Or they get there and they start working on their websites, or they start working on all the behind the scenes stuff. Or, I often hear people say, I'm going to launch a program in 4 weeks. I have to write the program before I launch it. Okay, they do all that sort of stuff first. That is not going to get you the leads. If you're going to launch a program in 4 weeks, your top priority has to be leads for that program, not the actual writing of the program. So you need to sit and have a think, what is the one task I need to do today to actually grow my business? And schedule that into your planner. Okay. Now, leave time. This is another big mistake that I see people do. Leave time each day for chats with clients. If you have someone reach out to you and say, I want to chat to you about what you do, I want to have I call my brainstorming session with you. You don't want to say, oh, okay, I've got time next week. Okay, you want to have at least an hour put aside each day where you can take a client call, a potential new client call. Really, really, really important. So pop that in your diary because that will grow your business as well. This is a mistake that I learned the hard way because I was at one stage when I say completely booked up back to back with clients. I had no time to ever be able to talk to anyone who was a potential new client, and my business actually suffered because then once I finished with all those clients, I had to actually go and find some new clients. Whereas if you put a bit of time in your day, you actually schedule it out, and you put a bit of time in your day to put in tasks to create new leads and new business, and then leave a bit of time every day that you can say to someone, no worries, I can chat with you tomorrow at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, whatever it is for you. And I do that in my diary every day. I have a block which is for chatting to potential new clients. If there's no chatting to potential new clients, say for that day, then it's about picking up new leads, whatever it is for you. But really important that you understand that, because when clients want to start working or talking to someone, they need some help straight away. They're not going to wait a week or 2 weeks just to have a chat with you. They will go looking for someone else. Okay. Connect daily with potential new clients as well. This is exactly what I'm doing right here. I'm connecting daily. Today, on Monday, is my webinar. That's how I connect. I have other things that I do. I do live videos throughout the whole week in my groups, on my Facebook page. I network every day. So I actually do something every single day to connect daily with potential new clients. So if you want to grow your business, these are your top 3 without fail. Okay. You are most productive in the morning. So do the things you don't like first. Do your business growth and things that you don't like first in the morning. So if you don't like doing live videos, that is something that you should schedule to do after your first 2 hours. Remember, the first 1 to 2 hours of getting out of bed is about you. Then this starts. This is talking about your business hours. You want to be doing, the business growth tasks first, and do all the tasks you dislike first thing in the morning, and leave the things you do like for the afternoon. Leave all the things that you enjoy doing in the afternoon. You'll find that I'm actually often doing Facebook Lives in the afternoon because I actually don't mind doing them, and at night. But first thing in the morning, do all those things you don't like, because you'll find that you're fresher, and it also helps you take charge of your day. Because imagine if you're sitting there doing something that you really like, and you've left something that you dislike behind, and in the back of your mind, you might not be thinking about it consciously, but in the back of your mind unconsciously, you'll be going, oh, I've still got to do this, I've still got to do this, I've still got to do this. And of course, then your focus gets taken away from what you should be focusing on 100%. Okay. So setting out a daily planner, really, really, really important that you set out your planner each day, each week. Now, block out time in your planner for your daily tasks, those priorities that you need to do. Okay, find a time that is best suited to you. The first couple of hours should be blocked out for me time, and then when you start your business, block out a time where you do your top priorities. Really important. And then fill in the planner for everything else that you need to do, okay, including clients and that. So start with your personal time first. I block out my personal time first all the time. Block out the time for potential client calls, growth marketing, social media as well. Okay, so block it out and then stick to it. Okay. The next thing that after you do all that is your current client calls. You should have an agenda where you book in time to see clients. I see my clients between 10 and 12, 2 and 5, and 7 till 9 most days, not every day. So you need to create a business, not only that you can grow, but that works for you as well. Because if you're in a business that is not working for you, it's not going to grow, because you actually unconsciously will stagnate the business. Okay. Anything extra that you need to do after that, you can pop in as well. So what I usually do is, in my times, if I've got no current client calls on that particular day, or like today I had a client who cancelled because they've decided, because of Melbourne Cup, she didn't realise it was the day before Melbourne Cup, so she has family at home and she can't actually create the call, so she's cancelled it. So now that hour that I've got it booked in for her, I will actually schedule something else into that, something else that I know I need to do. But all day, I've got everything planned. I can shift things up and down, and this is really important. I'm going to show you how you can do that in a minute, but I do shift things up and down if necessary. But what I do try and avoid is getting things that I've got planned for today to run into tomorrow. And one of the best things you can do is, when you schedule your time, is that let's say you schedule a time to, let's say you're creating a course and you've got 2 hours in your planner to create that course. At the end of the 2 hours, you stop. Okay, so you need to be able to set out your planner that you're not going to run out of time. If you think something's going to take a whole week, then you need to put it into the planner for the whole week. If at the end of the week you finished early and you've got spare time, well, then you can start doing something else instead. But one of the things that people do is they underestimate how much time stuff takes. So make sure that you really sit and have a look, and you're better off overestimating and then slotting in something else that you want to do, rather than underestimating your time. Make sure, this is really, really important, that you leave 30 minutes between each single task. Now that allows for things going wrong, for things having to be moving around, for running over time, all those sorts of things. And it just gives you also a break, because you need to have a little bit of a rest and reset in between every single task that you do, which is something that people forget. I will never, ever go back to doing back-to-back things again. Even when we were having our coffee catch-ups, which are now on a monthly basis, not a weekly. Last week was our last one. I would still have a break between my Monday morning webinars and my coffee catch-up, and you should be having a break. Get up, move around, move your energy around, have a drink, go and have a cup of tea, whatever it is for you, every 75 to 90 minutes, if you want to stay in peak performance and be able to do what you need to do throughout your day. So that's it for today. My gosh, I've gone over 10 minutes. So thank you again for watching. Like I said, that was just an overview of some of the things that you can do. So planning is key, but I'd like to thank you. If anyone on here has any questions, please let me know. There will be a copy of this going out to you with just to your email in probably within the next hour or so, hopefully. But if you'd like to know more about creating routines, would like to know more a little bit about growing your business, I do offer a 30-minute brainstorming session where we have a look at exactly where you are right now, implement some things that you can do to build your business and move your business forward. And we have a look at least one of the biggest problems that you have in your business that's stopping you from creating that business that you want and getting that clarity that you need. So if anyone's interested, not a problem. I'm glad it was really helpful, Marie. Just implement. You don't have to implement everything at once. Implement one small change for a little while, and once you're comfortable with it, implement something else. So that's the way, it's the best way to create routines. A lot of people try to create too much change too quick, and then everything becomes very, very overwhelming. So if anyone would like, just contact me. You can book a brainstorming session or just find me on Facebook or respond back to the email. You will find me on Facebook LinkedIn and Instagram, just under my name, easy to find, and also YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel with lots and lots of videos, so please jump on there, have a look, and have an amazing day, have an amazing business. If you're in Melbourne, enjoy the holiday. If you're lucky enough to have a long weekend, unfortunately my hubby and I don't ever get a long weekend, Melbourne Cup, because we do work, but enjoy your day tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing you next week. I can't remember, I'm going to actually have a look for you guys what is next week's the top fears in business, so we'll put a link in the email if you'd like to join me 10 a.m. every single Monday morning. Thanks for being here, guys. I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Bye for now.